Welcome back to Me, I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey. We have finally exited the regular verse.
Oh, thank goodness.
Crushing regularity for nearly an entire month.
Oh,
it has
too much.
It was a lot, and it was very regular.
Yeah, take my passport. Take it. I don't want it.
Like it's I think your prolowness has to be revoked.
Uh-oh.
We're removing you from the prolo verse because it was not good. I'm still a bit sore. But that's probably from watching LL Cool J just whatever he was doing in the end there. This week
your right hand is very sore.
my left eyeball.
You've got that. That's good aim. It's well done.
It was a ricochet. So we did promise last week that we were going to head back into Mariah's world. Not the TV show. That's
not yet.
Yet to come, surely. We'll leave that to last. Yeah. You always leave the best to last.
Absolutely.
Like Vanessa Williams says.
She might be the only thing that can save us from all the regularity. I feel
oh my God, so much regularity at the moment. But this week we are watching a Mariah Carey film, a Mariah Carey acting performance.
Yes.
She is one of the main characters. Yep. Like we're not just talking a cameo, a main character. We've seen her in Precious, we've seen her in Galita.
Yeah.
So now we're going to watch her in Tennessee. But before we get to Tennessee, before we subject ourselves to a movie that is freely available on YouTube because no one really cares about the rights to it. And no other streaming services, and in blurry vision. We should probably check in on what's been going on with Mimi in the Mimi moments.
Mimi moments. I mean, look, we don't have a lot, but what's there is good, you know?
Yeah.
So Rock and Ro have turned 12. Which means,
what, 12?
I know. It means they are officially the same age as their mother. So
oh my God.
We're very excited.
Triplets now.
Exactly. And soon, I'm curious as to what will happen once they've outgrown her. They'll be too old. Will they have to look
happened
after
with
her?
my sister. My sister, she's like, she was my younger sister for most of my life, and now she's like 20 years older than me.
Yeah. So weird how that happened. So, of course, they had a little celebration. They celebrated together with friends. Now, Rock had a giant cake with like a big fleshy shoe on it. He must be into, the kicks. While Ro went for a smiley face themed cake that I'm guessing was baked by Mariah, because Rock's cake was about 3 or 4 layers and very expertly decorated. Like you got that from a shop. Like that was a bakery special.
A shop.
Mariah's, Ro's one is like a pancake, like very flat, probably from a home brand mix with just some smiley face emojis on it.
I'm going to ask, is she gluten-free? Because they don't rise very
now,
high.
That could be the case. What?
Because maybe Mariah's still in character from playing the mean girl from the Christmas movie. Yeah. She was making gluten-free options.
That's true. Yeah, you can't not have that gluten everywhere.
No.
But in the corner, there are some cupcakes with smiley faces on them. So I reckon either it's the gluten-free, because that's a very fair point, or Mariah's just gone, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll just hire some cupcakes for the afternoon. Like we'll just
hire some cupcakes. I'm returning them.
Yeah. We'll bring But in the photo, it just looks real sad. Like it looks like Rock is the favorite and poor Ro.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we've got a gluten-free situation.
I think we should. I think we have some dietary requirements going on.
Absolutely.
Very possibly.
But I just love the idea of Mariah doing a little, you know what? I'm going to home brand it. I'm going to mix this up myself.
Mariah with a whisk is just giving me so much joy.
I mean, that's a movie in itself. Just Mariah with a whisk.
Mariah with a whisk. Now Whisk-Riah.
Exactly. She's having a Whisk-Riah moment. Now, with some awards news, because, I mean, barely a month goes by without a new award. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
so
it's like school camp. Everyone gets an award all the time.
All the time. So the Mariah-produced Some Like It Hot has been nominated for 13 Tony Awards.
I know. Amazing.
I think they should change it to the Mariahs, just quietly.
They really should.
She'll be an EGOT now, I've decided. I don't know if she's got the other things, but sure.
She was nominated for an Oscar
probably for
When You Believe. Did that one win? I feel like that won.
But she may not have won it because she didn't write it. Because remember, do you remember J-Lo was the one presenting that award?
Yeah.
So she didn't accept it because of that fact. She's like, I can't. I don't know. How can I accept an award from someone I don't know?
I don't know.
That's just silly. That's just math.
I mean, she was just an actor then. She hadn't come to singing at that point.
That's true. She came to that later. Much older and later.
Much later.
So, on top of this, Mariah has also won a Brit Award for her success in the streaming world. Now, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but I've heard it was billions.
Billions.
That's actually the name of the award for anyone who doesn't know. It's the Billion Award. I'm not making that up. It's that she's had heard it was billions. And unfortunately, we're ending on a little bit of sad news, which is that the world has lost Tina Turner.
Oh, and don't even.
I know.
Devastating.
Awful. And Mariah has paid tribute to her with the words legendary, iconic diva and superstar, and saying that her music will continue to inspire generations to come. So I'm sorry that we're bringing bad news, but we had to acknowledge Tina Turner, obviously.
Well, you know, I have a very special place in my heart for Tina. My mother... My mother had a singlet that was a bit long. She got from...
Oh, no. I already know where this is going.
And she decided it looked like a dress. Yeah. And she looked just like Tina Turner in the Simply the Best video. So she would just dance around the house going, Simply the Best. And then she decided it was so hilarious that she made me go with her. She drove over to some friend's house. And I had to hold the beatbox and like the boombox and press play on her Tina tape. And she would knock on the door. And so when they answered the door, she would just strut up and down the corridor doing her Tina Turner and then leave again. I was the DJ.
I'm
performance.
Suddenly very concerned for young Adam.
Yeah. Now you know where it comes from. Yeah. You think I'm needy? It's like, oh no, this is learned behavior.
Oh no. Oh, no. So yeah, very sad that we've lost Tina Turner. But we still have. I
did sing The Best once with Geraldine Quinn in her little band.
Oh, I do love that song.
It's a great song.
Thankfully, we've still got some other great Tinas. Tina Arena and of course Tina Barrett.
Tina Barrett.
So,
oh, no, not all S Club's with us anymore either.
No, it's so sad. Oh God. Let's move on because we'll just start crying and weeping for Tina and Paul. It'll be a whole thing.
Poor Tina. Poor Paul. Poor everyone.
Oh no! This is just now the sad cast. We just we just sob
every week. Every week we should talk about someone my mum danced to who's no longer with us. I mean, my mum's no longer with us. Everyone's dead.
The Brat's grandma. The Brat's grandma.
It's grandma. It's devastating news for everybody. So, speaking of devastating, we should move on to our next segment.
Yes.
Which is Breaking Me On Down for Tennessee.
Break me on down.
Right.
All right.
So, Posh, we're just going to do a Posh synopsis of this, aren't we?
We are.
You're not going to force people to watch this with a commentary.
I think this is best. I think my version. You don't even need to watch the movie, even though it's free on YouTube. This is also free. Just listen to this. All right. Are you prepared? Are you lubed up?
For the poshnopsis of Tennessee. Do we need like the history of Tennessee, or
we're just I'm not going to go into the history of the entire state, but I don't even know if it's a state geography.
It is a state. That's where Nashville is.
Yes. But I can tell you that it was made in 2008, directed by Aaron Woodley, produced by Lee Daniels, and starring Mariah Carey alongside Ethan Peck, Adam Rothenberg, and Lance Reddick. R.I.P. He's with the Brad's grandma. Everyone's dying. Oh, God.
He was in one of my favourite video games with Angela Bassett, who played Tina Turner. I know. It's a full
Angela
circle.
Bassett doing the thing. That's
doing the thing.
It's all happening. And just, not to get ahead, but there's probably more death to come in this episode.
Don't.
All right. Are you ready to sing us into this poshnopsis?
A poshnopsis, a poshnopsis. It's a Tennessee poshnopsis. That was a simple one.
It was. All right.
Yeah, I didn't want to go crazy.
Here we go.
People had enough of me singing last week.
That's true.
We forget about it because we don't have to hear it.
I know. Every time I listen back to the edited episode, I'm like, oh, God. It just keeps going.
No. Why did we let Adam do that?
You graced us with a new version in the last one.
I didn't mean to. There was just there's a few on there. I don't know which ones I use from week to week. They're probably different.
I think that's how they put together the albums of hers anyway. So I don't remember. Was that mixed and mastered?
Was that her?
Just
was
put it on.
Million?
Yeah.
Just stick it on whenever it is.
Okay.
Paste.
So Tennessee. Opening credits, which imply this is indeed a movie.
A movie?
A movie. Two heteros giggle in the street until they hear a noise from a house. So boy hetero goes inside. Here he finds some domestic violence, and I realise I'm going to have to work a whole lot harder to make this funny. You keep disappearing from the screen as well.
It's really grim, isn't it?
It
like,
is.
It just opens. You're like,
It's like, bam, yeah.
It's like, Precious all over again.
I know, Precious too.
It's man Precious, this one.
Precious again. More Precious. Preciouser. So,
Precious.
hetero boy tells toxic violence man to stop. So toxic violence man...
Stop, daddy.
Stop, please. See, we don't know that yet. He's just a dude.
Oh, he's just a dude.
So, of course, toxic violence man continues to be an absolute cunt. Thankfully, the tension is broken by the arrival of some more credits, and I'm reminded that Tension, the new album by Kylie Minogue, will be out September 22nd.
Has that got Padam Padam on it?
It does.
that one? Yeah.
Poof Adam, as you have...
Poof Adam. That's what it's short for, isn't it?
Yeah, I think sure. To further break the tension, we are met by the only credit that actually matters, Mariah Carey. Amazing. Just after, hetero boy knocks toxic violence man the fuck out and helps get the lady, who I assume he knows, out of the house. As they leave, a small child comes out of literally fucking nowhere and gets in the car with the lady. Don't know where he was. While hetero girl stands on the footpath saying no lines because they probably don't want to pay her. As if
extras are cheap.
Yeah, exactly. As if to prove me right, hetero boy says a bunch of lines and pashes hetero girl while she stands there completely silent. Hetero boy, not allowed. We can't pay you.
You don't get to speak.
We've spent all of our speaking money on Mariah, so just enough. Hetero boy drives lady and random kid down the street while a voiceover tells us it's 1993, which seems impossible since Mariah Carey wouldn't have been born yet.
No.
Don't understand. We also learn that this movie is called Tennessee. So,
like the state.
Like the state that I just found out is a state. I mean, how do we feel about this intro? I mean, it's
too much. It's just like, this is how it starts. Like, we're not even going to have like a bit of lightness. It's just like, straight in with the violence. Okay.
Yeah, no courtesy finger in this one. It was just
not even
all in. All right,
nothing. It's just like, here, dad's an asshole. The kid's taking mum.
And my favorite part is in this next little bit, we pretty much discover we didn't even need the intro scene because it's all explained through exposition anyway.
Show don't tell, but let's show and tell.
But in some other scenes, we won't do either. So now
we're the scenes with the mountains and the sunsets. The entire film looks like it was shot at sunset. I'm like, oh, why? It's so brown. It's the brownest movie I've ever seen.
That's not true. Don't even know what that means. So, okay. Now we're in New Mexico, which could be in Tennessee, but I'm not great at geography, and this is a long movie, so I didn't have time.
New Mexico's a bit further over that way.
Didn't have time to Google it.
That way, just like a bit further, just
over there.
Over to the, okay. Yeah, over there.
Their movies are more of a purple, I think.
Yeah.
Two young adult men who could be hetero boy and random kid, even though mere seconds ago hetero boy was a grown adult and random kid was maybe 4. But anyway, now they're both adults.
Oh no, you can tell that the older guy is the same. Like, it's the same actor, but when he's young, he's got normal hair. But when he's old, he's wearing one of Liza Minnelli's old wigs.
Yes. I can see it in my video.
Right there,
sitting next to me.
It looks like the one that Kristen Wiig used to wear when she was doing Liza.
For anyone who's like, what are you talking about? In our video, I've got a scene from the movie where they're in a car, and it looks like I'm sitting with them. So I'm in the car with them. I don't want to spoil anything.
One of Liza's old.
Yeah, or it's a little bit Nat Bass when she was pretending not to be in the Road Traders. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm just a voodoo child lady. I'm not Izzy. It's not. No,
it is the worst. It is a terrible wig. His wig's doing more acting than him in this movie.
Absolutely.
By the way. Spoiler alert.
Now, of course, I have said here that these could be 2 entirely different people. They're very generic white boys, and frankly, I'm so bad with faces that I once told my therapist she wasn't my therapist because she was wearing a different outfit. That is a true story.
So you turned up to therapy and you're like, who are you?
Yeah, she walked out of a different room and had a different outfit on. I was like, you're not my doctor. And she's like, yes, I am. And I just went in and I thought my real doctor will come and get me. Like, I don't know who this woman is, but it was early.
Prosopagnosia or whatever it's called.
It was very early in my treatment, so I wasn't very well.
Right.
So I think, but that other thing probably does make sense too. I'll Google that later. So one of the guys is studying to become a photographer who only takes pictures of Shakira's breasts, otherwise known as mountains. Narrator guy drives a taxi. So photographer boy is so enamored with Shakira's plumptious beauties that he gets a blood nose and collapses. Narrator, I know, sad. Narrator
in the dark room.
I know.
I mean, of all the things to have happened to you in a dark room, getting a blood nose is not.
So, narrator taxi guy finds his brother, and it ain't good. Turns out he has full-on cancer.
Full on.
And as I suspected, this movie is a laugh riot.
He's got nose bleeding, but non-disfiguring cancer. It's always my favourite when pretty people stay pretty right up until death.
Yeah. So
Barbara Hershey Beach's cancer.
Ooh, Hershey's Kisses now. That's all I'm thinking of. Go a little chocky. Now, so they need to find a bone marrow transplanter, which I assume is going to be the plot of this movie.
Yes.
Narrator taxi guy gets tested, which gives me time to realise that he's hot. He goes to visit...
Really? Even under the Liza wig?
Maybe not with the Liza wig, just generally. He goes to visit his brother who sits near a Christmas tree because this is a Mariah Carey movie.
Yes. It's Christmas!
Yeah, she brought those decorations herself.
Yeah. They just came with it, part of a rider.
Yeah.
You have to buy these decorations to get her on board. Like, should we just pretend it's Christmas in the movie?
Yeah, we'll just tell her it's Christmas. She'll be happy. This is when I realised that younger brother is kind of cute too. I wonder if they'll kiss. I should probably... I should probably Google him to make sure he's of age, but too hard. I Googled later.
He
it's
is
fine.
now.
He was then too. It's okay.
Yeah,
he's older than me, so it's fine. Taxi bro isn't a match.
He's older than you were then, or he's older than you are now?
Both. Both? No. Yeah, both. I think actually. Either way, whatever.
And did you also find out that he was he's like he's a Nepo baby, but Nepo grandchild.
Yes. Little Gregory Peck action.
Yes.
Goodness. And we've discussed this. The only thing I know Gregory Peck from is To Kill a Mockingbird, and I just wasn't happy with it because I pictured Atticus Finch looking like Albus Dumbledore. So he was too slicked back, dark hair. Why isn't he grey? I don't get it.
So Ethan Peck would have been 22 when he made this movie, so everything's fine.
And what year was this? 2008. Yeah, so I wasn't even 22. Yeah. Taxi Bro isn't a match, but maybe Dad is. By the way, Mum died because they couldn't afford to give her lines either. So she's gone now. So photographer guy wants Taxi Bro to take him back to Tennessee to find Toxic Dad in case he's a match.
Right. So they were in Tennessee in the domestic violence at the start, and now they've gone to New Mexico, and now they're going to go back to Tennessee.
Yes, and this is the scene in which we get the exposition to be like, remember how Dad was bad? And it means we didn't really need that opening scene, although we find out later why, because of silent lady extra on the footpath. Yeah. There's some nonsense about the camera, and then we're on the road to Tennessee in what appears to be a prequel to Supernatural, a bad television show about two other brothers that I would also fuck.
Or watch fuck. Is that what
yeah, they might kiss a little bit too. I mean, I'm not sitting through 18 seasons for them not to.
No.
Why would you?
For 18 seasons.
I don't know. Something like it's maybe 15 something.
What have they got to? It's like Man Charmed, isn't it?
Yeah, but without Alyssa Milano, why would you bother? I don't.
Or Holly Marie Combs, or the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think they went out when they, were still doing okay. They were like, we're going to go now. We're going to finish up.
Yeah.
And Supernatural were like, oh, don't really have anything else going on. We'll just get going. Maybe I'll kiss him next season.
One of the Supernaturals was in, he's in The Boys now, and the other one is Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes. And there's also Misha Collins, who was also in Charmed, and can give himself a blowjob because he's incredibly flexible. Yes, there is a scene in Nip Tuck where he flips himself on his back and says he needs to, and he actually does it. Like the actor actually does it.
Right.
And he has to get surgery to stop it because he can't stop blowing himself.
No.
Yeah. And they're like, why would you want to stop? He's like, because I can't have a relationship because I keep blowing myself. And I'm better
no
at
one
it.
will kiss me because I've got constant cock breath.
Yeah, which is funnily the reason why you and I want to kiss anyone. But,
Oh yeah, it smells good.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I was going to say smells like home, but that was really fucked up. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it. All right. So we're on the road. All right. By a roaring fire, the brothers reminisce about that one time that their dad was kind of okay when he allowed them to live off of Tic Tacs and cocaine.
Yes, Coca-Cola.
They did not specify that. They just said Tic Tacs and Coke. So, given what I know about the dad, probably cocaine.
I feel like you're leaving out all of the photos of the mountains because there was a lot of that.
Yeah, don't worry. Shakira comes back. It's
okay. Good.
She shows up. So sometimes I just like things to, you feel her bosom on the back of your neck rather than me telling you that it's there.
Yeah. Show don't tell.
Exactly. As they nap, it's flashback time. Toxic dad. Flashback. Toxic dad plays pick a hand while mum sits chilling in the background.
Oh no! No.
Unfortunately, young taxi boy picks the wrong hand, so instead of a fun prize, he gets violently abused. Though something tells me there wasn't a correct hand.
No, I don't think so either. I know from my own experience. There never was.
There was not right hand. Thankfully, we're back to the present. Taxi bro wakes up.
That was an egregious scene that made... I was just like, why have you put that in the movie?
I know. There's a lot of that.
We get it. His dad's an asshole.
We get it. Now we're just all traumatized. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for upsetting us even more.
So Taxi Bro wakes up and has himself a little drink. Now, it would appear that this is his first drink since he has about 3 sips before passing out. I love how they're like, we're laying the groundwork that he might have a bit of a drinking problem. And that bottle was really full.
It would explain his hair.
That's why he wants to go to Tennessee to go get a new wig, get a new do.
He needs to get a new wig. He got this one at the op shop.
Totally. So sadly,
his good wig that he was wearing at the start of the movie, he had to trade that in for a half bottle of gin.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to find. He's trying to get that back. His dad has it.
Yeah.
So
his dad's got the good wig.
Sadly, the taxi appears to have broken down. So Taxi Bro,
no.
I know, Taxi Bro suggests calling a taxi, which seems a little redundant. Photographer Boy goes to a diner, and thank God Mariah Carey is there.
Oh, thankfully. The
What would
waitress, like, she's such a good waitress.
Waitress Raya is what she is.
I know. I feel like she was doing some method acting for this. She had ice in her flaps. She only had half a bagel.
Yeah.
No tokens for the bus.
No, couldn't get a train. There's no trains. No.
There's no trains there.
No. So, Mariah is a waitress who, she leaves a hamburger out for too long and now everyone is mad at her, but it's not her fault. Like, what even is a hamburger? I haven't seen one of those. So, Mariah goes to the table of the hamburger orderers and B's hilarious, telling them her boss threw it in the trash in an accent she heard once. Suddenly, we just, she has an accent? Okay.
She's got an accent.
I don't think she needed it probably wasn't
scripted. She's in Texas. They're in Texas now. They've driven all the way to Texas.
Yep. She's like, I have an accent. It wasn't in the script, but I've decided.
Well, she lives in Texas. I feel like she hasn't gone anywhere. She's got a Texas adjacent accent.
It's adjacent, yes. It's so adjacent. Mariah serves Photographer Boy, but through her acting and her words, tells him that not only is the menu shit, but so is her life. Though it's not all bad because the pie's okay. So
the pie's okay. And her name's Crystal with a K.
It is. Crystal with a meth. So Mariah notices Photographer Boy is poor as fuck because he has no money and flappy shoes. So she lets him have a free
ice in his flat.
Exactly. So she lets him have a free Coca-Cola this time. She's not like the dad. She just gave him Coca-Cola.
Yeah. No tickets.
Oh God, no. It's just, what even is that? Is that a brand? I don't know. Outside the cafe, Mariah is on break singing and writing songs, but they decide to keep making the movie around her anyway. I sincerely feel like that was her having a break and writing the song for the movie. And they're like, Mariah, we need to keep filming. And she's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And so they were like,
I've got
fine.
a song to write.
We'll just
Willie Nelson just sent me the tape. I've got to write some lyrics for it, mate.
We'll just shoot around you, I guess. So Photographer Boy comes out and asks Mariah whether she's writing a song. And she says, I'm trying to, I guess, which was really hard for Mariah because obviously she knows how to write a song. So pretending otherwise it just seems unnatural to pretend that I don't know how to do that. But I did see a regular person do it once. So I just channeled that. I was like, how would she do it? She's an actor.
How would she do it?
She's an actor who didn't write any songs. I'll just do that. Mariah,
she's put her name on some songs, just not many, and they weren't good ones, but she put her name on them.
Mariah says she'd better get back to work, but then asks a few more questions as if she just remembered they were in the script. So now Mariah's calling Frank and says no, she's not going to clean up or whatever. She tells him she can pick up something from the store for him with a pause to indicate that she's acting.
Right.
If you say
this
the
is
lines,
like when she had the toilet paper and she wiped her nose.
Yeah. You've got to pause. If you don't pause, people will think it's real. And this is acting. So it shouldn't
and you're
be
on
real.
The phone, so you've got to give him a chance to interrupt you in the middle of a sentence where it doesn't need interrupting.
And the whole thing's ridiculous anyway, because Mariah would never use a payphone.
Can you imagine how much disinfectant they had to put that thing through before she touched it?
For some reason,
I'll take my heels off and I'll take all my makeup off and then I answer the phone.
Yeah, and for some reason I picture that it's actually made of chocolate. I don't know why. I just think that would be soothing for Mariah. I will use the phone if it is made of chocolate, and that's all.
And then I will eat it.
It's like, is it cake? It's just a whole episode of Is It Cake?
What is it cake?
So photographer boy now makes a phone call, or possibly a pretend phone call, and tells possible person that Mariah Carey is going to fix everything, even though they just met, and Mariah responds only because he called her pretty. So she's like, oh, I am pretty, so
I am. So
I will go along with whatever the fuck's going on here. Mariah gets the phone too, but there's no one there. Probably because my reasoning is that he called the girl from the footpath from earlier, and she's still not allowed to talk. So it's not a pretend phone call. He just called an extra. So
my theory is that he had no more money left after buying the piece of pie.
Yeah.
and the free Coke.
And the free Coke.
And just he didn't put any money in the phone. Like, she would have seen him not put any money in the phone and be like, who is he calling that they connected him and he hasn't put any money in the phone?
He did a bit of Holly Valance 1-800 reverse. So remember back. Oh, the 2000s. So Mariah tells the phone, I can't go to Tennessee, like the photography boy wants. I know. And I said, the whole situation is so completely nonsensical. It makes me wonder if they're all on drugs or I am. Because this scene, the whole introduction of Mariah makes absolutely no sense. Like, because as we find out later, photography boy, who we do get a name later, he does, he's got a plan. And I just don't think he would stop halfway through his plan and go, you know what, I'm going to help this, young 40-year-old but 19-year-old singer, who's also a waiter. But I only know that because I walked up to her and said, are you writing a song? And now I assume, having never heard anything, that she should definitely leave her life and come with us. Like,
well, they're going to Tennessee, and that's where Nashville is, which is where the songwriters live. Like, it makes logical sense in that she'll do better at songwriting near the songwriters than she would.
And I think
in this highway in the middle of nowhere.
All of that it's that sort of cliche, movie trope.
But they were like,
totally. Ever. And they were like, but everyone will know that, so we won't spend any time on it. We won't write it in.
We're going to Tennessee. That's where Nashville is. That's where you should be.
Yeah. No one said this to you before, ever.
No. I mean, they probably have, but, they weren't.
They weren't as convincing as
kids in a beanie.
I know, making a phone call to
making
a lady
fake
who's not
phone
allowed
call
to talk.
To nobody. She's such, like... By the way, even though you have talked about this movie a lot, at this point, it really does feel like nothing's happened.
Nothing has happened. So, okay. Maybe, as I keep going, something may happen.
May happen.
By the way,
I've seen the movie. I'm going to... Spoiler alert. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So Mariah keeps calling photography guy a sweetheart because she'd like him to download her number one's album. With I have a song called Sweetheart. That's why I keep calling you that.
With JD.
Yeah.
You know JD.
Jamash. So with the taxi still broken, the brothers decide to walk to Tennessee, which I feel isn't all that close. No. Mariah's co-worker hands her a letter from the photography guy, whose name is Ellis. His name is Ellis, like the island.
Hi, Ellis.
Thanking her for the refill, which he really needed.
In Wonderland, the Ellis band.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
I'm going to put on an Ellis band.
I'm not even going to argue with any of this. Why do you have that? You don't have hair. I don't understand. It's to hold your hair back like Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I'm wearing an Ellis band. There
okay. Perfect.
No, it's for my leg. It's an exercisey stretch.
Oh, are you like me with geography, but with a human body? You don't know where your leg is.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. You actually fell and hit your head, and now
I'm wearing an Ellis band now.
Oh my God. So anyway, special little Alice over there. He thanks Mariah for the refill, which she really needed. Now these
a fringe to go with my Ellis
you do. Just move your mustache up.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. Okay. What is wrong? Now it's stuck in your headphones. All right. So
something for the socials.
Yeah. So, yes, he writes her a little letter and thanks her for the refill, which she really needed. Now, these are the words Mariah has been so longing to hear. So she decides to take the brothers with her to the store and then, I assume, the whole way to Tennessee. That was the missing ingredient. No one had said thank you for the refill. Once she had that, she's like, I'm blowing this job off. I don't need it because now I've got confidence.
Thanks for the refill. Now we'll all go to Tennessee via the shops.
Yes, via the shops. I had to dub some stuff off. So
got to dub some stuff off at the shops for Frank, and then I'll be on my way. Now that I've got the ice out of my flaps, I'm good. I'm good to go. My flappy shoes full of ice.
Mariah then thanks Alice for the refill herself, which seems silly since she gave him the Coke. But what she means is the refill of self-esteem and possibly the real feeling he's about to give her somewhere along their journey. And by that, I mean sexual intercourse. Doesn't happen, though. No. It doesn't happen. No. I thought it would, and then it didn't.
She's too young and unwell. She might catch illness from him.
Yeah. No.
Or she might have to wear his beanie.
That would cover her Alice band. Silly. So Mariah takes them home where we meet her husband, Frank, who's a real gem.
Frank. I'm having flashbacks to their dad.
I know. He thanks Mariah for the booze she brought him by giving her throat a hug with his hand. At this point, see, I'm really trying to twist it, aren't I?
You are trying to make it sound as nice as possible. But she was very good in this scene because she just had to remember what it was like living with Tommy.
At this point, I noticed that there are Christmas lights up, which I assume Mariah brought from home because the set was too sad and she wanted to make this scene more festive.
Yeah. It looks brown. I don't know how it could be Christmas and still very brown.
I know. For some reason, the brothers don't see or hear any of this domestic abuse, which is odd since Taxi Guy heard it from the footpath earlier in this same movie. But yes. I guess it's harder from 3 meters away with a full visual.
Maybe.
So Frank's...
That is like such a hole in the film because it's like they're right there. And
I know! Frank then... It's a thing. So Frank says a homophobic slur and threatens the brothers, which seems so out of character with his otherwise friendly nature. 1 minute he's all throat hugs, and then the next minute he's like...
And what is going on with that scene about, how juicy she is?
Some
sort of ripe fruit. And you're like...
Do you think she wrote that? She's like, okay, before you threaten them...
Lance, you got to say something about how juicy I am.
I would like some compliments. I'm just feeling I need a compliment today.
I mean, look at these jeans. They're real tight.
Juicy. Mariah lays in bed listening to a soothing gunshot app. And in the morning... In the morning, she has a little feel around her bosom and or armpit, but I can't tell if she's feeling for a lump or bruising because the framing's a little uncertain, which makes Mariah sad. I don't know what happened there.
So this is because you were watching it on YouTube, whereas someone who owns the collected works of Mariah had it in full high definition, and there is an actual bruise in her armpit.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I had a whole side plot happening because I thought she was feeling for a lump and then she was going to meet old mate Beanie Boy and he, would be like, I'm sick. And then she'd be like, I should get tested. Like I should get checked. I should get this lump checked. And then she would win the movie. Because he
the competition. Who's the sickest?
But then nothing came of it. I was like, I don't understand.
No, it was a bruise. There's like a really obvious bruise in the although because the whole thing looks brown,
that's what I
pick out a
and
darker
it was like
part.
In the furthest corner of the frame with a mirror.
I know,
and a frame of the mirror. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it took me ages. I'm like, what is she doing? I'm like, I think that's a bruise.
And later, when someone cops a feel, I thought, that's why she's reacting because don't touch my booze because I might not be well. So, I mean, also just don't touch my balls, but as well as this. Yeah. So Mariah, so she's listening to the soothing gunshots, feeling around for a bruise, and she wakes the brothers up and tells them it's time to go, but she's going with them. I know. She leaves a note for Frank saying, I would have stayed if you'd given me a refill. And now suddenly we're in Oklahoma where Mariah needs some lippy and a good stiff drink.
Yeah.
Don't know how we got there, but we're there.
We drove there.
We drove there. We did steal a car. It's cool. I'm very concerned at this point that Mariah is going to fall for the other brother, which would offer much conflict. Mariah teaches the brothers
conflict.
I
think there's been enough conflict in this movie.
Mariah teaches the brothers to do tequila shots and has about 5 in a row, which, based on my experience, is 8 too many. Like, tequila is
Mariah can hold a splash.
She loves a splash. So Mariah and Alice dance while Carter, taxi bro, broods.
Yeah.
Notice I only learned their names once Mariah's said them. So now I know your name because Mariah does.
Once Mariah knows your name, everyone knows your name.
Everyone knows it. That's why she doesn't know regular people.
Yeah. This is a very important moment in the film, I feel, because I think he's meant to be brooding, but what I think he's trying to do is communicate with his hair. Right. I think he's trying to communicate his feelings using his wig.
Right. When you said that, I was like, is he communicating like through his hair, or is he trying to communicate to his hair and tell it to be better? Like, just be better.
Be better. Just, why do you look like Liza Minnelli?
Turning off a lamp. I don't understand. So Carter eventually gets involved and starts dancing hella weird. Mariah dances with Carter and tells him she loves this song. This song is great. I really love this song, which indicates to me that there was no song playing nor chosen yet. So Mariah just keeps saying this as a way to convince us, much like she did in Glitter when she found her mother's ring and said, she always wore this. I don't think I ever saw her without this. This was her favourite one of these, this one. It's the same. She's like, I know how to deal with this scene. Yeah, they haven't made a choice yet, but I've made a choice.
I've made a choice, and it's this.
And it's this.
What is the song that she's dancing? I don't even know.
Oh, nobody knows. They probably didn't even put one in. They're like, can't afford it. Spend all the money on Mariah. Can't afford it. So as Mariah and Carter dance, he flashes back to the girl on the footpath who finally gets a line. She gets to talk, which is so nice.
Is this at the football game?
No, that comes later. I think this is just nowhere. They're like camping,
like a lot
or
of
something.
the film.
Yeah, it's somewhere brown. I think
somewhere brown.
Yeah,
somewhere brown, kind of brown lighting in sort of a browny tone. Yeah.
Back in the present, Carter tries to get some Mariah buzz. Right.
Oh, he tries so hard to get Mariah buzz, and it's like, how did you avoid them for so long?
They got top billing.
He's trying to feel around. It's like, which bit of her can I grab that's not buzz? So it looks like I'm making my way to buzz.
Maybe like his brother, he got confused and thought they were mountains. And he was like, I'm going for a hike right now. I'm
Lucky
drunk.
that my
I don't
breasts
know
are
where I am.
small and humble, so you don't confuse them for mountains. I see.
But Mariah's not having any of this, so she clearly communicates this and walks away. Great. Yeah. But thankfully...
No buzz touch, mate.
No
buzzer.
Thankfully, though, pub guy is there and he sees this and he decides to announce what happened and punch Carter in the face because a woman firmly and clearly stating, through clear communication that this isn't on and I'm going to walk away isn't enough.
Buzzers are off limit.
Yeah. You need to have some random drunk dude stand up for her.
Yeah.
Because she clearly couldn't do it herself, even though she did. So that was annoying.
And is a good foot taller than him.
Exactly. Anyway, but no, toxic man still got a toxic. Now, we find out that Frank's a fucking cop. Twist.
I mean, I thought that was evident earlier. Again, I think maybe because it's so blurry for you. But when they were sneaking out of the house, all the people sleeping around were cops. And there were cop cars outside the house. And I'm like, is Frank a cop?
Yes.
Or he's a sheriff's deputy or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Frank's looking.
So he's come home and finds one of his cars gone and Mariah's ring on the dresser. So naturally, he abuses his position to try and track her down. Oh. At this point, Mariah's fled. Frank's a cop. Alice is dying. Things could not be much more dire or brown. So I'm wondering if this is where we actually leave it this week, on a cliffhanger.
What? A cliffhanger? No.
Which means, while we may not have made it to Tennessee, we are almost home. At the end of the podcast, baby. Almost there, almost home. You could probably say, but you won't because of copyright. That's a no.
Oh, look, I'm not coping with all this brown. This brown movie. We're going to have to continue it in the next episode. There's so much to come. I mean, it's just such a what's the word?
Epic. It's an epic journey.
It's
like Homeward Bound
across states. Like they've crossed
the never-ending
story.
lines.
It's a big journey. And we will continue the journey into Tennessee. Oh my God. How have we made this go for 2 episodes?
I don't know. I think we've actually recorded longer than they filmed this.
That is always a problem. I always worry sometimes, when you listen to a podcast that goes longer than the thing they're talking about. But, that we're on brand. So join us next week, next Mariah Monday, for more adventures of Mariah on the way to and possibly arriving in Tennessee.
Yeah. Don't know, I haven't decided.
With the brothers and the Alice
and the beanies and a wig.
All right, bye, Emily.
Bye.